Hello and welcome everyone, I'm EdwardStarcraft, and here we are in Game 3 of the finals of the lower bracket of the GameClucks Seattle StarCraft 2 tournament. Here we are on the map MLG Scrap Station, and spawning at the top left hand side we have the red Terran player, Sterling. At the right hand side we have the random player PicNic spawning as the pink Protoss at the right hand side of the map Scrap Station, and this is going to be an interesting game. Last game was Terran versus Protoss as well. This game will be Terran versus Protoss. Now Sterling and PicNic both Grandmaster player. Actually, Sterling is a Grandmaster player. PicNic usually in the top 200 on Blizzard's list, but he didn't get into Grandmasters. I guess he might have been on tilt, losing a few games here and there during the period where Blizzard recruited Grandmasters players. And PicNic saying, actually, shout out to Combat X. Oh, Combat X getting a shout out over here. Sterling giving a shout out as well. And so in the first game, we saw PicNic spawn as Zerg. He tried to play a macro game against Sterling, but Sterling won that convincingly. Second game, PicNic went for a proxy, one barracks, one gate. Sterling did not react too well to it, and it didn't work very well for Sterling. And now this game, it looks like PicNic is just playing rather normally. Normally for now. I don't see any sort of weird parts of his build order just yet, but that can change. That can change. He's using his Chrono Boost on his probe, so he can definitely churn out a lot of harvesters really quickly though. Jonas in the chat wants a shout out to his girlfriend Mitra. There's a shout out for you, Jonas, and your girlfriend. No, it's not real. You guys, if you want the story behind that, by the way, I think it's like one of Jonas's friends had an online girlfriend called Mitra or something like that, and then all their friends would troll that guy by just asking for shoutouts or pretending whatever. Just every single day. I'm bad at explaining in-jokes. In-jokes aren't meant to be explained. But anyways, here PicNic with a probe near his opponent's base, and moving it to a rather sneaky location. Oh yeah, really. That's what's happening here today. PicNic with a bit of Chrono Boost saved up. He's going to be able to Chrono Boost out his Warp Gate technology, building a fast Stalker as well. He knows that his opponent isn't a very aggressive Terran, and here Sterling actually going for a one barracks expand. This is very... it's tough to hold all ends with this, but I think Sterling is just very prepared here today. Now this probe, I'm wondering what's going on over here, but here I think PicNic may be going for... I don't know. This probe's like, I swear I am up to no good. Sterling checking this back expansion, only seeing one gateway in PicNic's base, making sure that PicNic doesn't like expand to the gold or something sneaky. Doing a very good job scouting around, and here he finds that probe. PicNic not going to be able to use this probe to do any sort of weird thing. And here now, Sterling with two barracks, a bunker at the front of his base, and PicNic going to go for a three gateway expansion build. It's going to be very powerful. You can actually build quite a few units with a 3-gate expand because there's 3 gateways. It's almost as many as a 4-gate. Sterling scouts this expansion, but he doesn't see the other 2 gateways, so I'm curious to see if he will actually react properly. Now, Sterling, he has 2 orbital commands. He's getting his tech lab on his first barracks and also 2 gases, so he's going to be able to get a factory, engineering bay, get a few researches up very quickly, and here PicNic actually adding in a robotics facility. So I guess he's not going for a pressure expand build. And you could do a lot of damage with the 3-gate pressure expand. You have 3 gates. It's almost like a 4-gate. Slightly less powerful, but then you can go and do a bit of damage while expanding in the back. So here PicNic moving in with some stalkers. There is this one bunker at the top of Sterling's ramp, so I don't think these stalkers can do too much damage, but that's all up to micro from PicNic and I guess luck from Sterling as well. Sterling getting stim as soon as possible. And what happened to that factory? This factory floating over straight to PicNic's base to scout around, see what's up. And here come the stalkers from PicNic. 4 stalkers versus 4 marines and a bunker. Gonna be tough, but Sterling also getting a missile turret, making sure that he's not vulnerable to any sort of... And here comes the factory. Sterling going to try to build a Hellion straight in his opponent's base, but it's scouted by PicNic. And Sterling just going to go for it. Not canceling this Hellion. He's not lifting up this factory. Just the weirdest thing that I've ever seen. And here comes a Hellion. There we go. One Hellion out, distracting PicNic for a while. Factory lifting up, and this Hellion getting a lot of scouting information. I guess that was the purpose? Yeah, here we go. You know, he sees everything in PicNic's space, and oh, PicNic getting a warp prism up and running. That is an interesting tech choice here. Now it looks like Sterling going to go for a drop at the same time, and this could be big. Stim nearly finished for Sterling. It's not quite finished, still another 30 seconds because of that nerf, and Sterling must be like, oh, should be able to push in right now, but I gotta wait until Stim finishes, but he's just gonna be a little bit impatient. Stim finishing in another 10 seconds. He's going to take out not even one stalker, and with this many stalkers, the medevac does go down, and Sterling not going to be able to take out too many stalkers. Now he does have Stim, but it is a bit too late, and he was just a bit too impatient over there, and lost his entire drop without doing too much damage. Now Sterling getting a Raven. Very nice transition because, you know, PicNic has a lot of stalkers. Raven block stalker shots. And here we go, a warp prism with 2 zealots incoming towards Sterling's base. Now, Sterling does not have anything to scout this, but he does have a lot of supply depots right next to his mineral line, which he can raise and lower. It's like a full wall off around his mineral line, so he can raise this and prevent anything from getting into his mineral line. Here comes the drop from PicNic. Marines coming into play, and here we go. Two zealots going to try to get a few harvester kills, and it looks like they get basically no kills whatsoever. That drop unsuccessful from PicNic, distracting Sterling a little bit, but not too much. Sterling continued to build barracks. He's going mass bio right now. Here we go. Sterling now lifting his starport over here to this reactor so he can get quite a few medevacs to support his biological units. Now, let's take a look at both players' relative standings. PicNic slightly ahead on supply, and if we take a look at harvester count, Sterling slightly ahead on harvester count. Now, PicNic, he has quite a few stalkers. He's going into Colossus. One Colossus coming out right now, and more gateways coming into play. So PicNic's just going for a standard, I guess, gateway ball. He doesn't really have many sentries though in his gateway ball. He doesn't really have many interesting units, so I'm not sure if his standard play now that he's transitioning into will work out very well for him, because we've seen that his long-term macro not the best, and already PicNic behind in supply. Remember, like a few seconds ago PicNic was ahead? Now PicNic already behind in supply. Sterling sacrificing his factory to do a little more scouting. He doesn't see the Colossus out for his opponent, and now it looks like a probe on the way to the gold base. PicNic going to be building up a new expansion. Now, Sterling, his macro not quite the... He was just saving up a lot of minerals for a second, building a third expansion as well. But yeah, Sterling with had quite a few minerals for a second over there. Now, PicNic still building up his ball, but Sterling, again, ahead over here in terms of supply. But here's the thing, with these Colossi, now Sterling is not going to be able to get out enough medevacs, and without the factory, he's not going to be able to actually produce another starport if you want to get more Vikings and medevacs very quickly. So that's actually not going to be too good for Sterling. He might be able to pump out enough units just off of that one starport, but a lot of times Terran players will actually get a second starport to be able to take out the Colossi and also heal their units at the same time. So over here, Sterling, his army supply still below PicNic, but his workers supply way ahead of PicNic. So the longer that PicNic waits, the more ahead Sterling will become. PicNic actually again pulling just even, and there's one probe just hanging around with a mineral. That's always fun. Always really, really fun. So there's a pylon over here. Sterling, I guess PicNic just built this pylon to get some scouting information. Sterling with his SCV over here with some scouting information. Both players are very, very happy. Now PicNic with his second Colossus out, he has a pretty good third Colossus out. He has a pretty good death ball being built up, and really just a macro game between these two players. Army supply for PicNic still slightly ahead of Sterling. Sterling now trying to get his third base up and running, but it looks like PicNic going to take advantage of this land bridge in the middle of Scrap Station and try to move through this, and this could be a very, very deadly push to Sterling. Look at his army. Not too many units over here, and you know, just PicNic, his army so big, and you know, Sterling without many ways to take out that Colossi. Not enough Vikings. And this narrow bridge where Colossus just do quite a bit of damage. I don't know about this. So now Sterling going to try to flank these Colossi, take them out, but ooh. Now Observer was just taken out, and now here come the units. Colossi trying to move in, Vikings trying to take out these units. Point defense drone soaking up a lot of shots. Marauders doing a lot of damage, but as he takes down the Colossus, now he's going to take down the last Colossus with his Vikings, and with all these units down, Sterling's going to be able to stim up his units, take out all these Stalkers, land his Vikings, and wow, I was afraid of Sterling's army, but here we go. Sterling showing the power of the Bile Ball, taking out a lot of PicNic's units, abusing the fact that, you know, Stalkers cannot move into the middle ground to the empty void in the middle of Scrap Station. Another Colossus out for PicNic, and Sterling is happy with just destroying that army, taking out those few Colossus, and getting his third base up and running. PicNic still does not have a third base, and if you take a look at the first base, PicNic's starting to run out of minerals. He needs a third base, and fast. But without that army, can he even take a third base? You know, Sterling has vision over here, so he can see when PicNic tries to take a third base. He has this one sensor tower, so he can see when if PicNic's going to try to move in with a drop or something. And now Sterling going to try to solidify his lead by going into his opponent's base with a drop. PicNic's units are out of position, so he can snipe off maybe a pylon or two, do some free damage. And you know, if you can kill a pylon for free, just, you know, with that APM requirement, that's fine. You know, that's a great investment. And here we go, Sterling moving in with his units, going to take out one Stalker, two Stalkers, a Zealot, and now run away with his Medivacs, drop some more Marauders, and wow, he just saves most of his units. Very nice job from Sterling. I don't know, that drop, I think, actually about even for Sterling. He won as many units as he lost, but here's the thing, is that when you kill as many units, as many minerals of your opponent as you lose, and you're ahead on economy, you're ahead on bases, that's really good for you. And look, 72 harvesters to 45, Sterling with so much more income, he can afford to throw away units, getting yet another sensor tower to spot any sort of weird attacks here from PicNic. Now PicNic's moving through the middle. He has 1-1 upgrades on his units, and here's another thing that I noticed. Sterling with 2-2 upgrades, about to get +3 weapons as well, and here's another attack. Nice concave here from Sterling. Where are the Vikings though? I don't see any Vikings from Sterling, but I think he just has so many military units that it does not matter. And here we go. These Marauders just turn toss to goo, especially if you don't have stuff in the first place. And here we go. The Sterling, even he doesn't like to even stim his units. And there is the good game. Well played from PicNic, and congratulations to Sterling for taking game number 3, defeating PicNic 2-1. And Sterling moves on to the grand finals to face up again against his nemesis, Kawaii Rice.